You know, earlier today, I reported Dow Jones down 501 points. Now it's only down about 230 points. Gold was up $14 earlier. Now it's down $4. So obviously the plunge protection team is hard at work. We got the jobless claims that were staggering. And now we just talked to Dan's brother. Wells Fargo cutting personal lines of credit.
It's huge, guys. People that had lines of credit between $3,000 and $100,000, done. They're all finished. Now here's the worst part, is that these people were pitched these lines of credit. Hey, get rid of your credit cards, pay them off, get rid of them, and use this personal line of credit as cash. People were doing that. Now they're shutting these lines of credit off. What does Wells Fargo know? Clearly the economy is closing.
They did this back in 2008, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what is happening? What are they getting ready for? What does this mean? It has to mean something. They did it back in 2008, and I don't know about you, but this feels an awful like 2008 right now.
It's right before your eyes. Now here's the worst thing. Here's the worst part of this, is these people's FICO scores are going to take a hit, every single person, because they have a credit account that has been closed abruptly. And there's nothing that they can do about this. And Wells Fargo, and the story that we just read, admitted that, and this is going to be catastrophic. So, they'll just go to B of A, they'll just go to Chase. No, that's not going to happen, because certain banks have certain tools and certain products that they have. And Wells Fargo is one of the only ones that has these personal lines of credit anymore. And again, what's going on? Why are they doing this now? Something is a myth and a brewing right now.
Dan, what about the reverse repo market?
Oh, it's completely out of control. The money that these banks have each night that they're borrowing, guys, you're going to go to ATMs and you're going to start to see trouble where you're not going to be able to get cash out of the ATM. You're not going to have branches that are open. We're seeing this.
Yeah,
why is this happening, guys? It's all pandemic related. No, it's not. Not now. Everything's opening up, guys, and you're seeing banks closed right now.
Twice in a week, I went to a Bank of America. Now, I don't deal with Bank of America, but I stopped at one of their ATMs twice in a week, and it was closed. And so Dan has a good point. We're gonna see more closures of ATMs. Or we're going to see limits. Like, instead of allowing you $400, maybe they're only going to allow you $200.
You know what? I had somebody on my channel that brought up a great point. The woman went into the bank and wanted $8,000, and they said, well, why don't we do this? Why don't we give you $4,000 in cash? And what's the money for? Why don't we write them a check for $4,000 as a cashier's check? She says, none of your business what I'm buying this for, what I'm getting this money for. I want $8,000 out of my account. And she had a substantial amount of money in the account, but she couldn't get, she finally reluctantly got it from the manager. I guess we'll give it to you, but they didn't want to give her the full $8,000 in cash.
Think about that. We've talked numerous times about your money in a bank. How safe are the banks right now? And what we just saw Wells Fargo do. How about the Wells Fargo corruption, where they were opening up fake checking accounts in people in your name? So I mean, these guys are really, really bad actors. These are the real criminals right here. And to me, the more money you put in these banks, the more you use them, the more you empower them. The best thing you could do is get rid of that cash, start buying gold, start buying silver, and start being your own bank. Do you really need to keep all your money in one bank? You need to be your own bank, Dan.
And one other thing is, Wells Fargo is the one that invented the higher bank fees. Now what they did was, they came up with a scheme that, let's say you go out and you use your debit card one weekend and you get 10 or 12 charges. You buy coffee, you buy lunch, you have a big purchase that comes through. What they did was they paid the highest transaction first and reversed everything. So if for some reason you were overdrawn at the end of the night and the banking night hit over and you were overdrawn even $25 and you had a bunch of little tiny charges, $2, $5, whatever, you could get charged $35 a whack for that. And that is what they invented, and it's criminal. You could have a weekend where you may have spent a few $100s and then have $300 in bank charges.
Dan, correct me if I'm wrong here. Was it Wells Fargo or was it Bank of America that opened up all those fake checking accounts, but took money out of your checking account and put it in a fake checking account in order to open another checking account?
Yeah, it was Wells Fargo that did that too. And again, they got sued for it. Oh, they apologized, and it was ridiculous. But it was Wells Fargo. Again, bad actors. I believe the CEO stepped down on that one. But again, no penalties, no problems, but they're shutting down the lines of credit. Why are they doing that right now? You got to seriously take a look at that. It's not everybody's a bad person. People are paying their bills. There are people out there that owe zero money on those lines of credit, and they're getting them shut off right now, and it's going to affect their credit.
So your credit's not safe, and neither is your safety deposit box. Bank of America was guilty in so many cases where they were going in and taking assets out of these security boxes. If you did not go in and physically open your safety deposit box in 2 years, they basically went in, took it, and whatever they didn't steal, they sent you the rest through FedEx or through the mail. So they basically voided the account because it's been inactive for 2 years. So what if I don't want to go to safety deposit box? I mean, I don't have a reason to for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Who cares? But yet that gave them the right to go in and open up your safety deposit box. And oh wow, a diamond ring's missing. My Rolex is missing.
Brooch.
Yeah, 5,000 out of my 50,000 in cash is missing. Oh, and then they mail it, and it gets lost in the mail. How nice is this? Do you really trust your money sitting in a bank? Do you really trust this fraudulent stock market where today you're witnessing the plunge protection team jump back in on the news of 373,000 Americans filing first-time jobless claims, and Wells Fargo now pulling credit lines, personal credit lines? I think the market should be down 3,000 points minimally just on this news alone, between the jobs and what Wells Fargo just did and the global economic outlook.
You know, take a look at this. Use this experience. How can you prepare? How can you get ready for this right now? Because all the signs are there. It's crazy if you do not look at this and you do not take this as a warning sign. The warning after warning after warning, and shenanigans after shenanigans of don't worry, things are great, look over here. Okay, guys, get ready because big problems are coming.
People go, what can I do? What can I do? I can't do anything. You know what you need to start doing? Stop trusting this system that continues to rob you daily. Get out, break away from the system, get out of the matrix. Stop trusting the system. The system is going to break apart, and it's going to take you with it if you're in it. So stop trusting all these banks and financial institutions. Stop trusting that they have your best interest at heart. They are going to rob you, steal everything you have. Look, this whole thing is so corrupt. There's so much criminality involved now in these markets, in the banking system. I think you have to be a complete fool now to trust this system.
They don't care about you. Don't ever forget that. Oh, Dan, I'm a good client. I've been at my bank for 25 years. They love me. No, they don't. They could care less about you. And this is a perfect example of how they're getting ready to shut it off. Who's going to be next? And if you don't think that they're going to do this at B of A and Chase and everybody else, you are kidding yourself. Oh, I'm with a smaller bank. They would never do that. They're going to do it, and get yourself ready, okay?
One word of advice. Everybody, look, I know that you have to have a bank, right? That you got to pay bills, you got to have a bank account, a checking account. Deal with a local bank, deal with a small bank. Get away from these big box banks. Get away from them, break away from these guys. Deal with the small local bank. You're going to have way better luck, way better service. Give them the business. Get away from these Wells Fargos, these Bank of Americas. They are destroying this country, and we need to just break away from them and stop doing business with them. Deal with the small guy. Deal with the local bank. Dan.
Also, one last thing. If you are, for some reason, you have a weekend where something happens and you get charged overdraft fees and stuff, call the bank right now. Because of all the stimulus money, one thing that I've promoted people to do a lot, I've had a lot of people have a lot of success. Call your bank, have them forgive the overdraft charges, take advantage of that, and they'll do it once, twice for you. But if you get a weekend where for some reason you don't make a deposit in time and you get hit with 10 or 12 of those overdraft fees, get them to reverse those fees for you. You have to do that.
And remember, you'll be talking to somebody in another country, so deal with a local bank. When I deal with my local bank, I'm talking to somebody locally that can, speak my language, knows what's going on in my area, somebody that I might even see on a weekly basis. The big problem again with these big banks are you are just a number, you're just a stat, and you're not gonna be talking to anybody here in America. You're talking to somebody in another country, dealing with your banking problem.
Yeah, exactly. So again, relationships, with your accountant, with your attorney, with your banker, it's really important. If you're in business and you do any type of commerce at all, have that relationship. It's important. People don't think that that's important. Oh, I'm not big enough to have that. Yeah, you are. Okay, and introduce them, find out what they do. And people are people. They want to know what you're doing.
And don't forget, you think your bank is so great. They're borrowing money for zero. And remember, every month you pay that credit card at 16.9%, 22.3%, 26.7%. They're not passing any savings on to you. These banks are sticking it to you in the worst of times. They're borrowing money for nothing. It's being thrown at them. And what do? They don't pass 1 cent of savings onto you. They're sticking it to you. People are having such a hard time. You think that the banks could cut rates on a credit card? No, they're just going up, and up.
Now you're seeing that, and again,
highest rates in history.
Do what you can do to pay them off. Do what you can do not to have debt. And you need to have credit. You need to have a FICO score. You need to have things like that in case you move, or buy a house someday, or buy a car. But again, minimize the payments, minimize what your outgo is, because again, the bank is not your friend, and Wells Fargo is not your friend. And this is a perfect example. What's going to happen? Here's what's going to come next. I'm going to be a soothsayer and make a prediction. They're going to start cutting the limits on your credit cards. They're going to go from $5,000 down to $4,000, down to $2,500, down to $1,200. If you've got a $500 credit limit, you're going to walk in one day, try to use that thing, and it's going to be, wow, we changed the limit to $400 with no explanation. And if you read the paperwork, they can definitely do that. So that's coming. That's coming next.
Think about that. So the bank is not your friend, ladies and gentlemen. You need to be your own central bank. You need to be your own bank. You need to be able to access your own money, access your own assets. You need to be able to protect your assets, protect your money, be your own central bank. So I want to remind everybody out there that Dan and myself will be traveling to Texas in the very near future here. I'm not going to say when, but it's going to be very, very soon. And we're going to be putting up a lot of YouTube videos. I'm going to be posting a lot of videos on Patreon, things that maybe aren't so comfortable here on this application. So we'll be putting that stuff over on Patreon. It's going to be a lot of security, training, all kinds of things that, we're allowed to speak a little bit more freely about over on Patreon. So please come over to Patreon and check that out. A lot of videos coming to Patreon. We will be putting a lot of YouTube videos up from Texas. It's going to be a really, really great week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it turns out to be. So please check it out. We're going to be talking about all types of preparation, food, water, gardening, trauma kits, raising animals, all kind of things. So I want everybody to check that out. It's going to be a really, really great time. We'll be putting up some of the barbecue restaurants that we hit. That'll probably go on Patreon, maybe on YouTube also. But we'll be trying to hit some of that good Texas barbecue while we're out there. I'll be hitting my bug out location over at my good buddy Aaron's little ranch. And so it should be really, really good. And we're going to get a lot of his knowledge, him being in law enforcement, and some of the things that he sees happening. We're going to be doing some silver unboxing, a couple silver unboxings. And we're just going to be talking about the importance of owning silver, owning gold, owning real assets, owning some land, owning a garden, owning livestock. All this stuff's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on Patreon. So please tune in and watch all of that. So we're going to get just a wealth of knowledge from Aaron. Dan will be there, and we'll be talking to some other people there. We're also going to be hitting a homeless encampment in Austin. We're going to see what's happening with the homeless epidemic in Texas. What we're going to be seeing in the Austin area specifically. So there's a large encampment there. So we'll check that out. So look, it's going to be everything: gold, silver, security, little barbecue, gardening, ranching, animals, you name it. And if you guys have anything you want us to talk about, comment down below. We'll try to get to it. The importance of a trauma kit, knowing how to apply a tourniquet, all these things, very, very important. Fuel storage, all kind of things. So it's really going to be fascinating. So Please make sure you check out my Patreon channel, Jeremiah Babe. If you're having a hard time finding it, go down below, link down below to my website, jeremiahbabe.com. Go to that website, it'll take you right to Patreon. Also, some people have had some problems activating the Patreon. Don't go through the app, just go to the website. If you're having a problem with getting the videos to open through the app, just go to the website and everything will work just fine that way. A lot of people said they're using the app and they can't open the video, so go to the website. The website will work properly. It will open the videos if you're having a problem with the app. So other than that, I want to remind everybody, make sure that you like this video, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, and make sure you hit the bell notification down below so that you are alerted with the newest video. Make sure you share these videos with everyone you know, you don't know, blast it all over social media. Make sure you subscribe.